This is five, part five of our stop, collaborate, and listen. And that phrase is a three-step formula, at least what I've offered as a three-step formula to unity. So welcome to our class. Remember something, or I hope I'll say this, maybe rather than say remember, I'll just say to you, each week I try to present um, maybe strategies and techniques that might be useful to you spiritually first, but also in every facet of your life. So if you gain some strategies that would help in other areas, I'm that much happier. So if you would just take all of this in with an eye kind of on every part of your life. Take Do this with an eye on improving really every facet of your relationships. Our theme, like I say, is based upon unity, which can be used in many ways. I'm going to do a quick review of some of the classes we've had, and I'll just a little bit expand on some of the things there so that you understand when I say that, what I mean by that. So week one, our stated goal for all of what we're talking about is unity. Okay, we've all visited unity, but really, I think all of us say none of us have dwelled there. We've had wonderful weekends or conferences or meetings or moments where we have visited in unity. And while uh, unity as a dwelling place is attainable, I think week one we came away all agreeing that we recognize the difficulty, and maybe, and with no judgment to offer to anyone, some of you even came away thinking that there is an impossibility to a sustained unity. And the reason anyone would come to that conclusion is we fail more often than anything else. We fail more often than we succeed in finding unity in every relationship it seems that we're in. So we concluded, at the very least, after week one, it is impossible to sustain any level of unity without God's intervention. Week two, man's consistent failings create a lifestyle of disunity. Most of us stating, some acquiesce silently, and I take that as your agreement. Most of us experience more disunity than unity, by far, by the way, by far. Naturally, man identifies differences instead of sameness. What I mean by that is obvious similarities are ignored, hard to find dissimilarities are identified and uncovered, meaning two men speaking have much in common, but they'll find the differences. Two women speaking have many, many similarities, but they'll find the differences. It's just who we are. And that's the sign that disunity is easier for the natural being than unity. Week three, our natures were revealed as selfish. The word says that the natural man is an enemy to God. And so it is that we are by nature selfish creatures. It's only when we recognize our faults, not just our individual faults, but even our common faults. All have sinned and come short. Once we recognize that we are weak and flawed and mortal, then we have a chance to find unity. Because once we identify those weaknesses, now we can start to approach how to overcome them. Okay? We have to disregard those things that we embrace by nature. And they all start with the pronoun me or my. Me, my opinion, my mindset, my rightness, especially all of these in comparison, in relation to you, whoever you might be. You is that person across from you. This is the conflict of life for most people. Me, who is from my mindset, is right. You, who differs in opinion, feels wrong. We have to disregard that, which we normally embrace. Unity is reachable only when we view one another generously and not selfishly. Week 4, that was last week if you were with us. We began our 3-step process for establishing unity. Stop, collaborate, listen. Step 1 is stop. And the theme in simplest form, so not to go too deep into last week, if we continue doing what we've been doing wrong, we'll continue failing in our attempts to live in unity. Most of our experiences are disunified. So why would we keep trying that? Most of our experience fail to sustain unity. Why would we keep trying that? If we continue doing what we've been doing wrong, we'll continue failing. So, step 1, stop. Then regroup alone. Then recover together. Step 2 this week, collaborate. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Step 2, collaborate. You remember that we showed tornadoes throughout every slide last week. Now that we've stopped the spinning, now that we've calmed our spirits, now that we've stopped fighting against others, and by doing so, now that we've stopped fighting against ourselves, now maybe we can change the dynamics, watch this, of everything. Maybe we can attempt now to create real unity with others. Stop, collaborate. We approach this from a newly developed mindset, the purpose of the stop. We address this from the peaceful calmness that we found in the stop, which gives us the ability to work together with others in a joint, agreed upon effort to create something cooperatively by harmonizing on what it is we're attempting to accomplish. In short form, that's collaboration. Long-term collaboration is foreign to us. It's been fleeting. It's been nearly impossible. So the stop must precede collaborating. The stop preps us to accept others, preps us to meld our minds together, preps us to knit our hearts together. The stop prepares us for real, true collaboration. You have to understand that we don't understand. That's the key. We have to understand that we don't understand. Yes, we've planned doing things together. Yes, we've worked on committees together. Yes, we've attempted to collectively connect with one another. And we've even enjoyed some success. But what we're talking about in this class is different. This unity that we speak of is intended to last. And I don't mean this in a cynical way, but it's not a weekend phenomenon. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. It's truly a lifestyle of compromising with one another. Unity. Time that we spent in the stop that we talked about last week defines tranquility. It defines peacefulness in quiet contemplation. We don't do that a lot. Our lifestyle, our pace is frantic for most. So I'm talking about an effort, a conscientious effort to stop. That time within the stop defines revitalizing through mindful meditation. Defines reinvigorating through really valuable time spent, watch this, with self. I can't tell you the times I've walked into our bedroom to make the bed. going to make the bed real quickly, and I'll turn almost like a reflex and turn the TV on. Maybe it's just to hear a song. Sometimes it's just meditative music, but still to put some additional noise in the room. So that stop silences all of that. It's a conscientious effort to change what is defined our normalcy, whatever that is. For me, making the bed with music. Stop. And lastly, it defines a rebirth of spirit through precious time spent in the stop with God. Okay, having given that first step, stop, we should now have a new focus. If you didn't do any stopping this week, then just accept this as theory now until you put it into place. With a new focus gained through that introspective stop, you're now empowered to collaborate properly with a refined process. The refined process is you, the change in you. So in that period, as we go from the stop to the focus on collaborating, we determine with whom we're going to collaborate. We decide what is required of ourselves to collaborate. And then we realize through that meditative mental preparation what you expect of your teammates in finding unity in the collaboration. Okay, before the process of collaborate comes a mindset. This new perspective is, hear this now, it's a direct offspring of the stop, of the quiet, of the calm, of the tranquility. You come through that with a thought process, I can do this. I've heard about meditating. I've heard about just calming my spirit. It really works. I think I told you about my high blood pressure, how when I go into a doctor's office, it races. And I stop. And I breathe. And I bring my heartbeat down. A theory before I tried it. No longer is it faith-induced. It's knowledge to me now. I know that. And even that knowledge brings peace. This new perspective is the direct offspring of the quiet tranquility you felt in the stop. Consider this. Jesus began his walk by stepping out of the water and into the stop to prepare to collaborate. He was teaching us the proper order of collaboration. Watch this, watch this. He went away from others to meditate with self. He went away from others to pray with God. He went away from others to fast and surrender himself to his Father. When they came back, when the disciples came back to him and said they had been stumped as they tried to pray for someone and the healing didn't come, they had been stumped and they asked him why. His answer was, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. And I would suggest that answer, that reply to everything we're talking about now, to find unity, to find peace, to find tranquility. This kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. Your effort, your surrender, your submission will bring everything to be. Jesus understood the importance of collaboration. Jesus, this is Matthew, the 3rd chapter, and parts of the 4th chapter. Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. Jumping, the three dots tell you I've just skipped some words, so you're gonna have to go back and read Matthew 3:16 as the chapter ends and the start of the next chapter, and I only broke it down to a little. So saying it again, Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, was led up of the Spirit into the wilderness, where he fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Jesus began with step one, stop. He went out of the water and into the wilderness. Stop. He transitioned to step two, collaborate. He fasted 40 days and 40 nights to connect with his Father. Jesus understood the importance of collaborate. When he had sent the multitudes away, the throngs, those begging and asking for favors and healings, and continuously presented noise. So, like we do every day. He was in the midst of this multitude, and he sent the multitudes away, and he went up to a mountain, apart to pray, says the word. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. Jesus would often regroup, utilizing step one, stop, time with self, and shift, evolve to step two, collaborate, time with his Father. Stop for self, collaborate with God. Jesus understood the importance, the significance, the critical key of collaborate. It came to pass in Luke 6, by the way, I'm not sure I've been identifying the scripture. It came to pass in those days that Jesus went out into a mountain to pray and continued all night in prayer to God. Same behavior, separate instances, over and over and over. And I believe with all that I am that we don't capture even a fraction of the times he did this. Step two was most often a collaboration between Jesus and his counselor, the Son with his Father. That collaboration that was needful for him was normally not found with his disciples, but with his Father. Collaboration. Collaboration allows us to know more than we're capable of knowing if done by ourselves. The additional voices, the additional team members, the additional input from others allows us to know more than we're capable of knowing by ourselves. Collaborate. Alone we are smart, validating each one of you. Together we are brilliant. There's a line from the movie Rocky, and sorry about this, but Paulie, his soon-to-be brother-in-law or future brother-in-law, says to him at some point, "What is this thing with you and Adrian? Well, what's going on here?" And that's his sister. "What is it with you and Adrian?" And he was seeing Adrian as less than complete. He was seeing her flaws and her weaknesses, and he said, "What's going on with you and my sister? And why Adrian?" And Rocky's answer was, "I got gaps, she got gaps, we fill gaps. Alone we are smart, together we are brilliant, we fill gaps." Collaboration is multiplication. It's multiplying those things that you know. We move from smart to brilliant when we work as a team. Collaboration and cooperation will beat competition every time. Think abundantly, speak authentically, serve willingly. You have enough, you are enough. You are an equal member to the team. Collaborate. And you have to understand that all are equal members to the team. Unity is strength. Our theme is unity. Unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. Collaboration equals innovation. Not all the ideas will come from us solely. When we collaborate, it's a bouquet of ideas and innovation. Got collaboration? Collaboration divides the task at hand and multiplies the success, certainly more so than we could have done on our own. The best collaborations create something bigger than the sum of what each person can create on their own. That means is if left in pods, there's 10 of us and there's 10 pods in the room and each of us create by ourselves. If you took all of those creations after everyone was finished, they would not equal what we could do if we came together. Because as you suggest whatever it was you were going to create, it may spur an idea across the way with someone who never would have interacted with you. Now they say something and that jumps to the person to their right, and then that jumps to the person across, and we begin to pull everything together and the bouquet gets bigger and bigger and more beautiful with time. The best collaborations create something bigger than the sum of what each person can create on their own. Where there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved again. What does collaboration look like? It's so many things. This is guiding us towards unity. Stop, prepare, settle your spirit, cleanse your soul, clear your mind, so that we can come together and collaborate. Our pursuit of unity with sincere desire happens from a place that is a calm, content, humble spirit, born in stop, realized in collaboration. That humble spirit, that tranquil kindness that you bring to the proverbial table is born in the stop. It's realized fully in the collaboration. I want you to hear it this way. We have one voice, each of us, one voice. It works towards the choir. We are one voice, just an alto, just and fill in your blank, just a tenor, whatever that voice is, a part of the choir. By oneself, just a, but as a part of the choir, glorious. Never needed as a solo. All voices equal, all voices needful, all voices important, all voices beautiful, all voices together. But hear this clearly. We can only identify the beauty of that harmony when we truly listen. Next week, step 3, listen. All right,